ati kazi yake Kasongo. Ruto must go. One time. Hana mpango ya ajira ya hawa vijana. Hana mpango ya barabara. Hana jukumu yangu ni kuhakikisha tunaunganisha Kenya na tunapanga mambo ya maendeleo na hakuna sehemu ya Kenya itabaki nyuma.
Kuna watu naona wanazunguka hapa wako na madharau kidogo kidogo. Hawatujui, hawatuelewi, wanatupimba kidogo, wanaona kama sisi ni watu wadogo. My friend, leo ni rais amesimama hapa. Nataka nikuje nisimame hapa peke yangu, ninyoroshane na hao wanaume, niwapeleke mbio mbio.
Right, at the same time, the leader of the Democratic for Citizens Party, DCP, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, has launched a fresh wave of criticism against President William Ruto, accusing him of orchestrating his removal from power based on false accusations. Speaking during his first rally on a 3-day tour of Meru County, Gachagua claimed that one of the key allegations used to oust him was a controversial land deal in the region, which he dismissed as baseless. He urged residents of Meru to boycott a luxury hotel in the country, or rather in the county, which he alleged is associated with President William Ruto. Gachagua further accused several members of parliament from Mount Kenya region of colluding in the plot to remove him from office, stating that their actions have caused the region critical development opportunities. According to the DCP leader, the fallout and political betrayal of that left Mount Kenya residents sidelined from key national development agenda.
Mimi singekubali kuungana na yeye akiua watoto. Number 2, alitaka kugawanya mlima. Ndio atukalie vile Moi alitukalia miaka 24. Alitaka kutumia huyu Soprano ati Wameru wakae kando. Waembu wakae kando na Wakikuyu kando ndio atutawale. Tunaweza kubali? Nguvu yetu watu ya mlima ni kukaa tukiwa kitu kimoja. Ni kukaa tukiwa kitu kimoja. Sasa wewe Kasongo, kuliko utujengee barabara ya kupeleka kahawa kwa factory, ya kupeleka majani chai kwa factoria, ya kupeleka maziwa kwa dairy, wewe unajenga barabara ya hoteli yako na unafikiria Wameru ni wajinga ati tutakuja kukaa kwa hiyo hoteli yako. Kasongo anyolewe sionyolewe?
Ndio mnaona tumetoa kifua mbele, tukasema sisi tutaendelea mbele, wengine watafuata. Na tuko hapa niwaambie musistuke, maana musiogope, uoga hatutanunua, na hata kama hakuna wabunge tuko nao. Meru has no shortage of farm leaders that are patriotic, that can work day and night to liberate Meru and to liberate this country. Kweli Morongo?
Vijana, you are our future. Please, let me finish. You are our future. You are the future of this country. Kasongo ameunyima maisha. Anachukua madeni. Ile mtoto utazaa atakuwa na deni. Ametuweka kwa.
Right, moving on, a sharp political divide is emerging in Kenya ahead of the planned anti-government demonstrations scheduled for Wednesday, June 25th. Now, leaders from the opposition have thrown their weight behind the protest, calling on citizens to take to the streets in what they describe as a legitimate demand for justice and accountability. In contrast, the government-aligned leaders have strongly condemned the planned protest, warning that they would disrupt public order, strain national unity, and lead to possible violence. They have insisted, they have instead urged citizens to pursue dialogue and lawful channels to air their grievances. Meanwhile, youth leaders from several public universities across the country have issued a cautionary statement to their fellow students, warning them against participating in the protest. The university leaders expressed concern that young people might be used to advance political agendas and could end up bearing the brunt of police action and unrest.
Ambia Inspector General wa polisi, haijalishi mtu ni nani ama nani, kama unaleta fujo, kama unapanga fujo, shika, peleka kotini.
Those who call for demonstrations must also bear the greatest responsibility.
Matano, mimi nimetangaza itakuwa public holiday. Hawa vijana wameleta sifa Kenya, sababu wamesema hatutaki nyinyi viongozi ambao mnatuua, mnaiba mali yetu.
Serikali inataka kutuma watu wakuje wapige
wale watu watakuwa naandamana tarehe 25.
So we call upon all the youths that day that if you can find something purposeful to do, kindly do so. It's not a must. Kenya is bigger than any one of us, and interest must not vary so that others might use us politically to instigate and bring our country down.
All right, moving on, the management of Central Police Station in Nairobi has assured families of victims of last year's protest that the upcoming demonstration scheduled for Wednesday, June 25th, will proceed without interference. During a meeting with protest organizers, the officer in charge of the station confirmed that police officers will be deployed to ensure the safety and security of all demonstrators. The assurance comes amid growing public concern over potential violence and disruption associated with mass protest. Families of individuals affected by last year's demonstrations have issued a heartfelt plea for peace. Now, speaking at a joint press briefing that urged participants to remain calm and peaceful and warned against infiltration of the protests by criminal gangs or political figures with divisive motives.
Tunasafanya nyumbani bado, lakini nyumbani tutafanya mimi na familia yangu. Hiyo siku tutamkumbuka, tutaakisha candle, tutaomba, lakini tukiwa pamoja tunaona kama iko ni furaha yetu. Nikiwa na huyu alipoteza, mimi nilipoteza. Sasa singine nasalia sana, huyu aniambia hapana, hata mimi nilipoteza mama, tulia na hawatarudi, tuombe pamoja. Sasa naona hiyo umoja inatupea nguvu.
Lengo letu ni kufanya maombi kwa hao watoto wetu. Hatungeweza kufanya nyumbani kila mtu akiwa peke yake. Kwa hivyo tumeungana sisi akina mama, tuko wengi. Tumeungana, tukuje na maua, tuweke. Kama mimi sasa nilikuwa natarajia, Eric alilalishwa nje ya parliament, hapo kwa gate. Kwa hivyo nilikuwa naomba hata nikiweka maua kidogo hapo, niwe namkumbuka.
Hatutaki vurugu, nikukumbuka tu mandugu zetu. Sababu watu walienda alienda haraka sana, so soon. Kenya sikuwa itarajia. Sasa tumekuja tu makumbusho kumkumbuka. Nataka tu amani, hataki vita. Maskari wetu wametuashua kutakuwa na tear gas. Mimi ndakuja na madhe.
That if you intend to show any form of violence on that day, please jitenge na sisi. We do not want to see any violence on that day. And so we will give a further briefing of what we intend to do on that day. But that is the most important clarion call. Peace. Peace, and that is it.
We've received the notification, yes, and we are working on the way forward on how to manage it so that we can have a violent-free memorial service.
Now, the family of Boniface Mwangi Karaoke, a face mask vendor who was allegedly shot by police officers in Nairobi on Tuesday, is now accusing the government of abandonment as their loved one continues to battle for his life. According to the family, no government official or agency has come forward to inquire about Karaoke's condition or record statements related to the shooting incident. They describe the assailant as disturbing and deeply insensitive, particularly given the serious nature of the injury sustained. Boniface, who earned a living selling face masks on the streets of Nairobi, was reportedly shot during what witnesses claim was unprovoked confrontation with police officers. The family insists that the shooting was unjustified and is now calling for immediate intervention and justice. Speaking to the media, Karaoke's relatives expressed frustration at the lack of support, both medical and legal, from relevant authorities. They have appealed to the Independent Policing Oversight Authority and human rights organizations to step in, investigate the matter, and ensure those responsible are held accountable. With Karaoke's health deteriorating, the family says they are struggling to meet the medical cost and urging the government not to offer assistance, or rather to only offer assistance, but also uphold the right and dignity of every citizen regardless of their social and economic status.
Nasikia vibaya kwa saa hii. Juu mtoto wangu bado hajatoka hosi. Mgonjwa sana. Mara ya kwanza vile alikuwa hajabadilika.
Boniface cannot talk, and we don't expect Boniface's life to be back as the way it was. The left side of Karaoke can never come back to life.
Na tujue hali ya ukweli ya huyu kijana. Maana huyu kijana hajawahi badilika kutoka siku ya kwanza. Unakuta tu amerara.
Nobody has reached out to the family. Nobody has called the family. From the government, may it be from the investigators, no one has contacted the family. That's where the family came in contact with the wakili.
We are planning that on Monday, maybe will approach these security agencies to see whether we can get that assistance which has not been forthcoming.
Mtu alikuwa anasema ati kwa saa ati tukinini hiyo bill ndio ipunguke nitume 20 na 500, lakini mwenye walienda kuweka akaweka kimakosa ikaenda ikuwa 200 na 500, lakini nimeenda nikachukua ubi namba.
Right, moving on. A family in Kasarani, Nairobi County is demanding justice following the tragic shooting and killing of their loved one during Friday's protest that erupted over the murder of a young girl, Abigail Wanjiku. Stephen Joshua was fatally shot during the chaotic demonstrations held in response to the gruesome killing of Abigail, who was reportedly stabbed to death. Tensions between police officers and protesters escalated quickly, resulting in a violent confrontation. According to eyewitnesses and family members, Stephen was allegedly shot by a man believed to be police officer attached to the Mwiki police station. His family is now calling for thorough investigation and swift accountability from the authorities.
Nilipigiwa simu nikiwa pale Kasini ACK Road. Nikaambiwa kuna kijana ameshutiwa hapa kwa stage. Sasa nikaingia gari nikakuja hapa Usima Uhai. Nikakuta kijana amelala. Kumwangalia ni kijana yangu. Anaitwa Joshua. Askari kama amepewa bunduki wacha alinde raia, sio kuua vijana. Kwa sababu huyo kijana alimaliza hapa form 4 last year, hata hajafanya kazi.
Ni askari tu alikaa hivyo juu ya kiburi yake, akaona angushe huyo kijana. Hiyo kitu inatuuma, si kama vijana wa Kasarani Mweki. Inatuuma sana. Sisi tunataka kitu moja, President Ruto, justice for Joshua na justice for Shiko. Huyo karao mwenye aliangusha Joshua, si kitu moja tu tunataka, ni moja, ashikwe na aende ndani.
Right, moving on to matters education now. The Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers, KUPPET, has issued a 7-day ultimatum to the Teachers Service Commission, that is the TSC, under the Ministry of Labour and to commence negotiations on a new collective bargaining agreement, that is a CBA, warning of possible industrial action that could severely disrupt learning activities nationwide. Speaking during a press briefing in Kakamega, KUPPET National Chairperson Amboko Milemba stated that the current CBA is set to expire in just 10 days, urging the employer to act with urgency to avert a looming crisis in education sector. Echoing the sentiments, KUPPET Secretary General Akelo Misori declared that secondary school teachers are fully prepared to strike, demonstrate, and withdraw their labor should talks stall or fail entirely. The union also criticized recent government decisions to remove examination fee subsidies for national assessments.
We have given the government 7 days to address the issue of collective bargaining agreement, because we don't want our members to be overexposed in the event that there is no CBA beyond 30th of June. There will be trouble after the lapse of 7 days. And that one is not limited to only strike. It is going to be real trouble. I see. It will include, among other things, withdrawal of labor, demonstrations, and the mother of everything that you call strike.
Hadi ama paka leo Teacher Service Commission haijatuita kuanza mazungumzo ya mjadala mwingine, na ndio sababu tunatoa ilani kwa Teacher Service Commission kwamba wanabaki na siku ngapi? 10. Na pia tumeenda mbele na kuandikia waziri wa labor ile ambayo inaitwa notice, kama kwa hizi siku 7 Teacher Service Commission haitakuwa imeita union kuanza mazungumzo ya CBA, basi union itachukua zile steps zingine ambazo zitawalazimisha watuite. Examination fee is part and parcel of the basic education, which is supposed to be free and compulsory. So if you remove examination fee, you are actually touching on the Constitution, and I think it's Article 53, which makes education haitakuwa imeita union kuanza mazungumzo ya CBA, basi union itachukua zile steps zingine ambazo zitawalazimisha watuite. Examination fee is part and parcel of the basic education, which is supposed to be free and compulsory. So if you remove examination fee, you are actually touching on the Constitution. And I think it's Article 53, which makes education compulsory and free.
Right, moving on, student leaders across the country are voicing growing frustration over what they term as unjustified increases in tuition fees and continued delays in the disbursement of government support. The leaders are calling on the Ministry of Education to urgently intervene and address the financial challenges affecting thousands of learners in tertiary institutions. In a strongly worded statement issued on behalf of student unions, and leaders expressed concern that the increment in tuition fees, coupled with a slow release of higher education loans board, that is HELB funds, and capitation, has placed an unbearable burden on students, many of whom now face the risk of academic disruption. The student representatives argued that the changes were implemented without proper consultation or communication, describing the processes as opaque and lacking accountability.
My fellow TVET students, today we gather in the spirit of unity and progress, not to lay blame, but to listen, understand, and offer practical solutions. As the president of TVET Student Association, I speak on behalf of thousands of trainees across our technical institutions who are passionate, hopeful, and eager to learn, grow, and contribute meaningfully to our country's development. Over the past weeks, we have experienced concern and uncertainty following the unforeseen fee adjustments in several TVET institutions. These changes, introduced without sufficient notice or engagement, have caused worry, especially for students who come from families already facing economic strain. Our current situation, unexpected fee increases affecting ongoing studies, delays in HELB and capitation funds, which many students rely on, a growing gap in communication and mutual understanding between student leadership, institutional heads, and policymakers. A need for structured platforms where students' voices can be heard constructively. What we purpose to the Ministry of Education and TVET authorities: consider developing a standardized fee policy framework ensuring all institutions remain affordable and inclusive. Prioritize the timely release of capitation and HELB funds aligned with the academic calendars to prevent unnecessary interruptions. Enhance student representation in national forums that impact education policy, especially concerning welfare and funding. Introduce the guidelines for institutional transparency so that every fee increment is accompanied by clarity and justification. To the principals and administrators, establish regular dialogue forums with students' leaders to promote collaboration and early problem solving. Ensure any institutional changes, particularly financial, are communicated clearly and early enough. Create support systems that are responsive.
Right, moving on, authorities at the Malaba border have intercepted a truck carrying 8,000 liters of ethanol believed to have been smuggled into Kenya from neighboring Uganda. The seizure, which took place during a routine patrol, is part of an intensified efforts by security agencies to clamp down on cross-border trafficking on illicit substances and tasked goods. Speaking to the press at the Malaba Police Station, Western Police Regional Police Commander, that is Isaac Mohamud, confirmed the operation, stating that security has been heightened along the porous border points to disrupt illegal trade routes commonly used by traffickers. Mohamud praised the swift action by the officers who responded to intelligence reports, leading to the successful interception of the truck. However, the truck's driver managed to escape on foot, prompting a manhunt for both the driver and the vehicle's registered owner.
Following intelligence-led operation, surveillance, and the swift coordination by our officers, we successfully intercepted a motor vehicle KDD 287U FRR Zuzu, which was ferrying 32 drums of ethanol, suspected ethanol, which with a capacity of 250 liters, making a total of 8,000 liters, with with a value of about 1 million and about 100,000. But the cumulative taxes are supposed to be 13 million for that consignment. Accordingly, this consignment you see here today have not passed any procedures, have come through the porous border. But we were able through the cooperation of the public, get information, and we were able to seize this consignment. We're taking care of the borders. We are liaising with the counterparts in Uganda so that we share information, so that we handle. But we are on top of things. There's no cause for alarm. It was going to the interior of Kenya, maybe Central Province. Investigation is ongoing. We are trying. We'll get the owner, the truck. The driver has escaped. He has escaped. We're looking for the owner of the vehicle. I'm sure he will come and see his road, and that's where we'll get it. So there's nothing to worry.
Right now, let's get sporting. President William Ruto has announced that the government will allocate 50 million Kenya shillings towards renovating the Makongeni grounds in Macharia, Nairobi County as part of efforts to nurture youth talent and promote sports development in the region. Speaking during the finals of the Honorable George Aladwa Open Soccer Tournament held at the Makongeni grounds, the president emphasized the government's commitment to investing in sports and the creative arts to provide young people with viable and dignified alternative career pathway. The tournament final saw 1,000 sportive clinch the trophy after a hard-fought 1-0 victory over Young Warriors, highlighting the growing talent and competitive spirit among local teams. The planned renovation is expected to transform Makongeni grounds into a state-of-the-art facility offering improved infrastructure and for training and hosting sporting events, which will further encourage youth participation and development in athletics and other creative fields.
Huyu MCA wenu ameniambia na huyu Aladwa kwamba hii kiwanja yenu munataka mimi niwawekee turf na niwawekee yale mambo mengine. Mimi nawauliza, ni nyinyi mmewatuma ama ni kunipanga wananipanga hawa? Nyinyi ndio mliwatuma. Kwa hivyo nitengeneze hii kiwanja. Bas, mimi nitawatengenezea hii kiwanja, nitatafuta milioni 50 nitengeneze hii kiwanja ya hapa kwenu Makongeni.
Ladies watafuatwa na elite. Ladies wapangwe namna hiyo.
Right, moving on, Nairobi United were officially crowned the 2024-2025 National Super League, that is NSL champions today, sealing their triumphant season despite suffering a 3-0 loss to Naivas FC in their final match played at a packed stadium. Their defeat did little to dampen the celebratory mood, as Nairobi United has already secured an unassailable lead at the top of the NSL table prior to kickoff. The coronation ceremony took center stage after the final whistle, which fans, officials and players celebrating the team's successful campaign and return to top-flight football. Naivas FC, however, stole the show on the pitch with a commanding performance, scoring 3 well-executed goals to finish their season on a high. In a post-match interview, Naivas head coach Elvis Ayang praised his squad's effort, calling the result a statement for intent ahead of the next season. Nairobi United coach Nicholas Muyoti, while in disappointment with the loss, expressed pride in his team's overall achievement.
Kwanza tunawapongeza Nai Boys kwa kuweza kuqualify kama winners wa nationwide. Secondly, tunaweza kushukuru wachezaji wetu. Wamejitolea haswa kwa sababu hii ilikuwa mechi ilikuwa na pressure sana, tulikuwa tunacheza na timu nzuri na imekuwa ikishinda mechi zao na walikuwa na morale. So tunashukuru wachezaji wetu ambao kwa sababu wameweza kuwa juu kwa occasion na tukaweza kushinda mechi ya leo. Haitashukisha kwa sababu nadhani tuko ndani. sababu wao walikuwa wanahitaji wafunge mabao 5, lakini wamefunga goli 1. So sisi tuko ndani ya playoffs na tunashukuru wachezaji wetu kwa jambo ambalo wamefanya na kila juhudi ambao wamejitahidi, sababu tukianza ligi tulianza vibaya sana, hata tulikuwa karibu second last, lakini nashukuru kwa kila effort wameweka tukaweza kufikia siku ya leo.
I think it's a very good feeling. Hii ni mara ya pili wamejaribu na ndo mara ya pili tumeweza kupata ubingwa. I think it's about perseverance. I think the feeling ni mzuri sana kwa sababu ukiangalia hiyo jani ambayo tumekuwa nayo haijakuwa rahisi, na enyewe NSL iko na changamoto zake ambazo pia mimi kama coach mzoefu nimeziona, na ni kuangalia tu sasa ni nini ambayo tumekuwa tuna lack ili tuweze kufanya vizuri katika KPL. But mimi nashukuru sana vile vijana wamejituma. Ukiangalia msimu wa katikati window ilipofunguka tulifanya signings za maana sana, ambapo wengi wa players ambao tuliwachukua walitoka KPL. So hiyo imetusaidia sana, na katika hiyo experience yao wamesaidia sana hao vijana ambao tumekuwa nao, na hiyo blend imekuwa mzuri sana, and that's why tumepata performance mzuri.
Right, as the Kakamega County Secondary School games approach a thrilling finale, all eyes are set on a highly anticipated boys football semi-final clash between traditional football giants Kakamega High School, popularly known as the Green Commandos, and Musingu High School, nicknamed the Scorpions. The two football powerhouses will face off at the Mumia Sport Complex in what promises to be a fierce and memorable encounter. Kakamega High secured their spot in the semi-finals after cruising past Mumias Muslim with a comfortable 2-0 victory, displaying their trademark dominance and tactical discipline. Their long-standing reputation as a football powerhouse continues to fuel expectations of another stellar performance as they chase the county title. Musingu High, on the other hand, demonstrated resilience and determination in their 3-1 comeback victory against Shanderema. Now, after falling behind 15 minutes into the second half, Musingu roared back with 3 unanswered goals, showcasing their attacking prowess and fighting spirit to book a place in the semis. In the girls category, Butere Girls and Archbishop Jenga Secondary School have also advanced to the semi-finals after strong performances in the preliminary rounds. Both teams are determined to clinch the county title and progress to the regional games.
That's a normal game. I don't see anything extraordinary. We'll approach it with Itakuwa. But I know there's rivalry because at one point I was in Kakamega and Kenda Msingu. So they'll come with that kind of thing. But this is just a sport. Once we lose, we win, we become friends. A game is to unite people. Hatuna beef na mtu hapana. After the game we shake hands and go.
Coach, nimeshukuru sana because nilikuja kwa hii shule last year September. Na nikasema nataka at least nijaribu na jenga team. But vile tumeingia semi-finals, tuna focus kuwin hiyo game so that tuingie regionals. Nothing less. Juu kila game sisi tunaitreat kama finals. Na so far si haja concede hata bao moja. Na ukiangalia vile games zinaenda, hakuna mtu rahisi. Juu jamaa kwa groups wame struggle, lakini wamefika kwetu wamekuwa strong.
Kila timu hapa inatarajia kusonga mbele. Na kila timu inatarajia kuenda regionals. Nasi tuko katika hizo timu zinazotarajia kuenda regionals. Na tuna imani ya kwamba tutakuwa kwenye regionals, na tukifika kwenye regionals pia tutakuwa tumejiandaa vilivyo.
Handle each and every game as time goes. We don't underrate opponents. Atuangalia ati tunaenda kutana na opponent, tuna focus on one opponent, no. We face each and every opponent vile wanakuja. Because kuna wengine wanasema we focus on Jenga so much. No, we don't focus on Jenga.
Right, it is exactly that 2 minutes past the top of the hour. That will wrap up our bulletin here on EBN Weekend Edition. My name is Macharia. Many thanks for, of course, keeping us company here on the program. Do have yourself a good night and remember to go to church tomorrow. And as always, let's do this again when God says we do.